Welcome to the Gabrielle Spencer Power Up Your Abundance podcast. Help us to continue to share the message of abundance with people all over the world by going to uanow.net/unlock for your no-charge abundance MP3.
Hello and welcome. This is Gabrielle Spencer. Thank you for joining me for the Power Up Your Abundance podcast. I am here to take personal questions, whatever it is that you would like to have an answer for, and release work energetically for clearing your abundance blocks in whatever area it may be, whether it is money, health, love, jobs, career, life, purpose, and passion. There are many things that keep us up at night, and I would love to know if you have a question. Go ahead and raise your hand. *2 will get you in line, and I will take the first hand that's up. Just give me your first name, and I will do what I can to assist you. This is Gabrielle. May I help you?
Hi, this is Terry.
Hi, Terry. How can I help you?
Yes, I was wondering if, someone told me in my Akashic records that that I need to manage my money differently in order to be successful.
And
is there any way you can help me with that?
All right, so you're saying that this is something that's in your history, that you don't manage your money well, and that's what you want to have cleared?
Well, I manage my money pretty well, but it's just, I guess the way I do it could be better. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. What you're asking, I think that the energy is sort of unclear. So let's just see what it is that we need to do to assist you to, how about, do everything better, or in alignment. How about? I like alignment a whole lot better. When we're in alignment, everything flows. How does that feel?
Okay.
All right. See, here's the thing. It doesn't feel like you feel that it's really out of alignment. And here's the thing about past lives. It may have happened, but it may not actually be having a bearing on your current life. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be, that particular issue doesn't have to be cleared, but it may show up in a different area. So is there another area of your life that isn't in as much as great alignment as you would like?
As far as abundance, I know that I'll always have money, that I'll always be comfortable, and that when I need it, it'll be there.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
I already know
and that's
this.
why that's not anything for us to work on. See what I'm getting at here?
But
you want
I
to
just
release.
feel that I could do better in the way that I manage things, my money.
And I like the things better. Like, that feels more like an issue versus specifically about money. So when we talk about a past life where, you didn't manage something as well, it's also that that may play out in a slightly different way, not related to money, but let's say sometimes that you might put your head in the sand about other things that are a little bit less sure for you. So
yes, I do.
Well, I was going to say, what they're showing me is an ostrich putting its head in the sand. So what are the other areas that you do that in that are more personal related versus like the outward stuff? Like, you have really good control of the outward stuff, but there's something else going on inside that you're not as comfortable dealing with.
I know when I deal with my siblings and with my parents and stuff, I let things slide a lot and I don't say anything. And I am and I know stuff and my head's in the sand, like you said. And I don't know why I let things go when I should say something. I know it needs to be said. Yes.
And this feels more like what we need to be looking into for you is this part. It's not even just to do with it has to do with that inside. It's easier for you to just put a wall between you and others and like just sort of observe but not really participate. And so this is the bigger issue. And, you know, we're talking about it as putting your head in the sand, but it's actually keeping yourself separate, which is, you know, it's okay. It's not terrible. Like, it's not to a total extreme, but it's something that keeps you from fully experiencing the life you've created, and also bringing to you more of what you kind of want, because you're not really sure how to reach out and grab it.
Yes.
See, isn't this way more fun?
Yes.
Now we're getting to the really good stuff. All right. So we're going to allow the energy to work to help you reach through that. And we're going to, this wall, it's not solid like concrete. It's more like plexiglass. So we're going to, like I said, you can see through it, but it's sort of still there. Like there's a separation. So we're going to help you to release the beliefs and limitations that put it there, and also people that are close to you having the ability to harm you or hurt you, and it feels like an emotional hurt. And so if you don't get too attached, it's a whole lot easier to stay separate. And so that's the energy that's being worked on. Now, to release that, all the beliefs that have occurred that created that wall, and to instead now help you to open your heart for the healing of the betrayal of people who are close to you. And like I said, it isn't all just a family thing. It feels like, in a way, it's, you know, people in general have to prove themselves. And they're showing me this, a high jumper, you know, like the Olympic Games where they have to jump the high, it's not a hurdle, it's that pole that sits up on really high. So people have to jump really high to prove that they're worth your time, attention, and energy. So we're going to lower the bar a little bit. Not really low, like everybody should have standards, right?
Yes.
Yes, they should. But it's about allowing people to connect with you. That's really the point here. All right, so if you'll close your eyes, and if everybody is willing to join in, close your eyes and roll them up if you can. If it's not comfortable, just close them. You can ohm with your mind, anything to help raise your vibration and to keep our minds from interfering. And just allow it to be released, allowing the white gold light to come down in and around your heart to heal the betrayal, mistrust, and hurt, which that's a huge issue for everybody, no matter who you are. We've all had that happen, and it gets stored in our heart to where it's very difficult to fully trust, and then that goes out into the universe for being able to trust many things. So, all right, let's check in with you. Tell me how your heart feels, Terry.
It feels good. I can feel that it's glowing.
It's also, I see a lot of energy swirling around, so it's sort of not done. So I'm going to just give you another second here to allow it to fully open and begin to not only bring in more light, but project out more light. This is so important for everything in our lives. Just like we say, like attracts like. So the more light that you put out, the more light you draw to you, and all the great abundance and alignments and connections and potentials and opportunities as well that come with that higher vibrational light. All right. How do you feel now?
I feel a little bit lighter. My heart doesn't feel as heavy.
Good, good. All right. Well, it will keep working. As we continue along, more energy work will be done. And in addition, this will keep working. For everybody, energy work can go on a lot longer than when we're talking about it, because it's in motion, if that makes sense. Okay? Thank you very much, Terry.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, this is Gabrielle. May I have your first name? This is Gabrielle.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. This is Martine from Virginia. And
Hi, Martine.
Hello. What I'd like to work today is Louise Hay, when you listen to her, she says it's easier to talk about, let's say, a sex workshop than it is about creating money. And I was feeling that for me, creating money is, in my head, is so hard. Like you have to work hard, and I'd like to work on that. Like I'd like to open up to let the flow in. So it seems that internally, I believe that, you have to work really hard to let money come in. So,
okay, this is a common misconception, and a lot of it too is about opening and trusting the universe to provide money.
Yeah, that's my big issue.
Yeah.
So
we're going to work on it, Martine, because this is a huge issue I find when I work with people is we want to trust God. We want to trust the universal energy, but it's difficult because we have doubt, and we sort of always are in this place, and it feels like this is it for you, which is prove it to me. Like I want to believe, but I still would like some proof. And then so when something happens, it's almost like not good enough proof. It's like, okay, maybe that was just a coincidence, or maybe that would have happened anyway, right?
Yes.
So it's not really then proof, right? We discount the proof. And so it reminds me of that joke about the flood waters rising and the people standing on top of the roof and asking God to send, to save them. And he sends a boat, and they're like, no, God's going to save us. And they send a helicopter, and they're like, no, God's going to save us. And then the flood waters get them. And so that was the visual that I got. It just reminded me of that story, because it is difficult for us sometimes to realize that source provides, and it's not going to be the way we understand it or want it to come. Many times our opportunities come as not anything we expected, and it doesn't look like what we expect, so we send it away. That's the meaning of that story. It didn't come the way those people thought it should, and what they were hoping God was going to provide for them, or what they thought they needed. And so they sent it away, or they bypassed it, or they say no. And that's what happens to all of us in our daily lives, is figuring out what is really an opportunity, what's a distraction, and what it is we're supposed to do next. And I've said many times I say this because it's my own lesson, just from having to go from a controlling mind, my mind can figure everything out, to trusting that the next step will show itself. And so the way opportunity comes is not going to be that the whole blueprint gets sent to you and you have a total understanding of each and every step that you're going to take in order to get there. And that's the part that we have the hardest time trusting, that the whole thing is going to show up at some point, right? We want it to be right now. I want to know the whole journey, and I'll decide if I want to take it. Don't we wish we all could have that, the hindsight thing and everything, right? I wish I knew then what I know now, right? So you can see in many ways in our society all these beliefs that we have that support this idea that we don't know, we're not going to know, and that's a bad thing. And we're going to work to make that when you're tapped into universal energy, it's not anything. It doesn't matter, because the next step is coming. Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right, you. So we're going to close your eyes. Go ahead. They've been working this whole time. The Heart Opening to Abundance, higher vibrational beings are working on this issue, not just for you, but for everyone. Have that higher vibrational trust that is needed. Okay. Take a deep breath. This is coming out of our first, second, and third chakras. The trust yourself and trusting your connection with your higher self and your soul directly to source. It's all the way up, this connection. And just say, each person to say yes to receiving the energetic clearings and healings and teachings that are needed. Okay. How's that feel now, Martine?
Oh, better. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Allow that to keep working for you, and I look forward to hearing how it goes, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Martine.
Thank you.
This is Gabrielle. May I help you? Right now I'm going to take from the chat line James Dillon, who has unblocking my heart chakra and forgiving others and asking forgiveness. Those are excellent, James. So let's see what we can do here for James. All right, James, we'll start with your heart. Definitely is showing me that, I'm going to call it a log. So it's almost like there's a log jam in there. So we're going to go ahead and do the energetic work to help release what this log jam has, what created it, and what needs to be done to help you release it. All right, James. So I see quite a lot of things going on here. And the main issue, there are a couple main issues, but we're going to just pick one, and it's that you actually feel separate, that you don't actually belong. And that does have to do with forgiveness of yourself and, moreover, forgiveness of yourself than others. But we will work on what you requested, which is working on forgiveness of self and others. Yeah, so you are on it. That's definitely going to help you. We just need to help you do that in a way that we can help remove some of that logjam that I can see. So if everybody will close your eyes and help join in with your energy to raise the frequency. James is quite an old soul, so some of these injuries are compounded, and so more so than other people. Most injuries and hurts do get compounded, and we experience them over and over, and they hurt deeply, even when we don't understand exactly why. We just know that it's there. What I find for old souls is that they're deeper and really, I'm going to say harsh. They're harsher than maybe some other newer souls. So with that, James, just roll your eyes up. Say yes to being willing to accept the light gold energy that is coming into your heart, this healing energy from the great central sun that's going to assist you to forgive yourself and to ask forgiveness from all those that you have influenced, affected, and impacted in a negative way. And gifting you the keys and codes and activations that you need. Oh, I see logs coming off, so this is very good. They're dissolving and being sent to the light. All right, and so James, your next issue is that you don't feel supported, and I would like to direct you to, if you haven't gotten it already, if everyone can also take advantage of this, I have an MP3 on my homepage at GabrielleSpencer.com. It's the very first one, and it's called Prosperity Through Forgiveness. And this will help you on so many levels. So if you have it, then start listening to it as much as possible, and even when you go to sleep. Okay? Thank you so much, James. Let me know in the chat box how you feel. I'd love to know. We're going to try next caller. Hello.
Hello. My name
here.
is Lena.
Hi, Lena.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. How can I help you?
Yeah. I just want you to look if something blocking me. It's not like, I'm in terror, but it's always something happened. You know, you think you kind of okay, and then something happened. And you kind of okay, and then again something happened, something going off, and maybe see if something blocking me from my abundance.
Okay. I'm going to select one thing, okay? As you know, as you already know, Lena, there's more than one thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm asking for the most prominent thing for you, the most prominent issue that will help you the most for us to release together, okay? And then you as well get the MP3 that I just mentioned and listen to it as much as possible. It will help you because abundance of anything, love, life, purpose, passion, all those things start with the healing of your heart. And the fastest way to heal your heart is through forgiveness of self and others and forgiving God as well. And when I say that, I always cringe a little bit because that can upset people. But think about every time when something goes wrong, we find a way to feel like we're not supported. And even if we don't think it or say it out loud, somewhere within our energetic, it's that we're not supported by God. And if, God was really on your side, that never would have happened, or that person never would have died, and what have you. So it's important for us all to remember there's no judgment in healing. All we want is to release it. It doesn't matter how it happened or how it got there or any of it, right? We just want to release it. So for you, this issue is about self-acceptance, and it's the first issue. I'm sure why we're talking about this in this way, because self-acceptance is more than just I'm good enough. It's about loving and accepting who you really are, not even who you think you are in this life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the part that's really important for all of us, is to remember that who we really are is not the person staring us in the mirror. It's that full-on connection of your heart, your spirit, your mind to your higher self and your soul and to source. That's who we really are. And in our society, we talk a lot about it's all the outward stuff that matters, right? It's what we see. It's the job we do. That was one of my biggest ahas when I lost my awesome job. I never thought that I had an identity problem until that happened, because I didn't realize how wrapped up I was in my identity being my career, right? So we don't really know many times what it is that we perceive even of ourselves. But for you, I don't know why, but you keep showing me, it's almost like the Pillsbury Doughboy. And it's like this, just like I'm going to go with a blob. Like you don't feel defined. Is it because you don't have an identity that's an outward identity? Or if you do, you don't accept it? Do you know what I'm asking you?
Kinda. Yeah, I know that me is not my identities, because, like you said, my soul, my higher self, my oversoul, and God connection. Yes, I know that. About identities that I have, I'm not sure.
Yes. All right. So that's part of the I accept myself, is to have that knowing that you are, I am that I am is the saying that we use. But I don't know that we all have a deeper understanding of what that means exactly. So let's work on this connection with within yourself, so that we move that energetic of not knowing into a knowing from within. Okay?
Okay.
I believe this is definitely an issue for everybody. So I'm feeling it in my head, actually. So do you have a lot of mind thoughts that go on about this? Are you thinking a lot about what you're blocking or what's not working or what you need to do better or more of? Is your mind overactive?
I know that something blocking me, and maybe it's even go deeper in a past life. It's what I think.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I can feel this block in my body. It's actually in my chakras from heart and up. Mm-hmm. And these thoughts are actually not mine. It's more like thoughts from something somewhere else that I'm dealing with, because I can hear these thoughts. It's not mine.
Okay. That's important. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to just close your eyes now. Roll them up if you can. If not, just leave them closed. Choose a high vibrational chant, whatever it is that you resonate to, and everybody else out there assist by doing the same. The higher the frequency, the more we're able to access and release and activate and shift for you. That's why I request everybody assist. And just know, I mean, this is really fascinating. Energetically, I can see like a sheet of golden light. So it's not like a string of light. It's like a whole sheet coming down to wrap you in its folds. And so we ask that be extended to everybody who needs that as well, to assist them to shift. All right. You let me know when you feel a shift, okay?
I mean, I feel something resisting in my heart area and throat.
Okay. So with your own internal heart, I want you to say yes to accepting this golden light into your heart. Tell me how that feels. Is that being rejected?
Feel a little bit softening.
Continue to allow, knowing that your angels are with you. Now I see them. Mm-hmm. And they've formed like a circle, like joined hands and everything. The energy is basically keeping you from being influenced, affected, or impacted by lower vibrational outside energies.
Right.
The shielding here that they're doing and raising the vibration around you specifically to help you to open your heart here and to provide you the forgiveness of yourself and love and honor of yourself and your connection with your higher self, and asking that the energy be provided along with the keys and codes needed to assist you to make this connection from lower body to higher body and to clear out all that is keeping it from happening. So I'm starting to see now that there is actually a connection and that the light is starting to run through it. How do you feel?
Like I want to cry.
Okay, good. You can cry. That usually when there's a release of something, the crying will last for 30 seconds to maybe a minute or two, but it's just part of the release, so you don't have to fight it. All right, Lena, I'm going to allow you to keep allowing that to pass and to work its way through, because it's going to continue, but the energy work has started, okay?
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me know by email how you're doing in a couple days, okay?
All right, thanks.
Thanks. All right, Anna has written in the chat box. She says, I don't know if I'm an old soul, but I have a similar issue as James. Also a feeling of not belonging, not being enough, being taken advantage of, and having little more than enough to go by. How can I unlock and unleash my abundance? All right, Anna, let's look into that for you. Anna, when I tap into your energy, I see you on top of a cliff. There's water underneath, and it's like you're waving in an SOS, kind of like as if I were an airplane flying over, and you're waving your arms trying to get help. So that's the first question, is the aspect of yourself that feels like you are surrounded by water and out there in a cliff, and that energetic that's going along with that. So let's see what we get. Okay, so Anna put in the chat box that she does feel isolated. So my question to you, and it's what I'm hearing, is what is keeping you from breaking out of that isolation? Because what it feels like to me, I see the perception that you have of it, but what it feels like is that it's not exactly that way. It's just that's how you are seeing things around you. So we're going to do the work here that has to do with other timelines, it feels like, where your perception of things, of life, and of how things work and your place in it you haven't been able to trust it or believe it, or because in the past you have, and you ended up in trouble. And so it's caused you now to just believe that your perceptions are correct and you are totally misreading. It's almost like if you were to have an idea about something, you would find a way to invalidate it, and instead come back to, no, because it's really like this. It's not that way. That's probably me trying to think of the best possible answer, because you actually feel like you're a positive person energetically. It's just, you just don't believe. And it's odd, but it kind of goes both ways. Like it's a circle. So it's like you want to believe, and then when something shows you that it's good, you actually find a way for it not to be good, or like you're thinking too good of it, and it can't really be that. And you're looking for where the problem is, or how it is that you can't trust your perception. All right, so let's work on the energetic here for you, and the specific release of the past lives where you disconnected and started to believe that you are unable to trust your own intuition and your own knowing, and the perception that you had of what was going on. So it's like that little voice telling you something, and then your mind negates what your inner knowing is. And so then you end up where you're not sure which is up or down, right? Okay. So Anna wrote in the chat box that part of her isolation is chosen, as she needs a lot of time alone to restore. And on the other hand, I don't find similar depth of vision and emotion, and I feel alone because of it. So she has a cycle. All right, here we go. So everybody assist, if you will. Close your eyes and roll them up. Get into that theta brainwave state. Take a deep breath. Choose a higher vibrational chant to keep your mind busy, to help raise the energy. That's why we do that. And let's hold this higher vibrational energy of love and light to surround Anna. And it's funny, they just showed me like, you know those inflatable slides that are used if you're evacuating an airplane? They just saw one go from the cliff down, and although it's water underneath, it's a nice gentle landing to kind of like a reality place, sort of like joining the rest of the group. So Anna, let us know in the chat box what you feel, if you felt the movement and the shift for yourself. Actually, you're very much open to the energy and wanting the shift. So that's terrific. And so for everybody else who's feeling isolated and alone and separate, we're going to continue the energy of providing for you happiness and the elixir of life, because it is way more fun to slide down that slide than it is to stand up there on the peak or the mountain or the cliff all by yourself, and to be stuck up there too. All right, so we're going to continue this, the energy, and let go very quickly. That was terrific. We ask for each person to receive the keys and codes and clearings that they need to feel the love and support, the guidance from the universal source energy to assist them in being one with themselves, being able to open their arms and their hearts to all those they come in contact with. That's what I'm seeing for you, Anna, and the group, is being able to open your arms and at the same time stay at a high vibration, which means that even though you're connecting with others, their energy is not drawing you down. All right. Take a deep breath, everybody. Anna, let me know how you feel. Anna says, yes, I love slides and I love to swim and a good splash. That's fantastic. All right, well, I hope you felt that release. You jumped right on that slide. So that is always encouraging and really means many things on an energetic level, Anna, that you made the shift as soon as it was provided. So good for you, my dear. And your question about being an old soul, you absolutely are an old soul, as you already know. As you have many gifts and abilities that you already are right there. And Anna says, thank you, everyone, and thank you, Gabrielle. So you're welcome, very welcome. All right, so I'll take one more caller. Oh, Pascaline. Are you there, sweetheart?
Hello.
Hello. I know it's in the middle of the night out there in Nairobi. Tell me how may I help you today?
I would like you to help me with aligning and removing the blocks that are staying on the way of my abundance to money and love.
That's it, huh?
Yes.
All right, sweetheart. We're gonna pick one of those things, right?
Yes.
So let's do love. How's that?
Yes. That's okay.
Well, it's that you feel like you're being controlled. So love equals control. Is that in your head or in your heart, in your body, or all of it?
I think in my head.
Okay. So your mind is telling you that if you love, then you end up being controlled if you love?
Yes.
So take a deep breath for me, close your eyes, roll them up, and if everyone will join in, that would be awesome. You'll raise the frequency together to assist. This is, there's not any issue, I think, that everybody doesn't have or experience at some point or another. So bringing it up is helpful. So I appreciate that, Pascaline. All right, so let's go ahead and work on this piece that it's the heart-mind connection. It's where the mind is still in firm control. But everybody has to remember the mind plays an important part in our base programming, how we come in. Your mind is in charge of your survival and to remind you of all the things that you need to be careful about, all the things you need to be a little bit fearful of in order to keep you safe. That's its job. And as you raise your vibration, that aspect of your mind goes into third position. So instead of being in charge, it becomes part of the triad of the heart, spirit, and mind. So we're going to work to first provide you here, and for everybody to provide the part that has to do with love, loving others, having others love you, and accepting love, and having the perception of love from a higher frequency. Okay? So we're going to leave that other part because it's more in depth, but we're going to work on this piece because it's super important to be able to receive love for love's sake. All right, so directly working on the heart and sending the healing energy and the higher vibrational clearings that are needed to assist you to know that love is real, that's big, that there is a higher vibrational love, and to even separate your understanding of love from our movie romance, book romance love, and societal understanding of love to that higher vibrational understanding of love, of that unconditional love that comes from a higher frequency, even if the person or people in your lives are not higher vibrational. It's your perception that colors it. And I'm not just speaking to you, sweetie. This is really, like I said, a really big topic for people, that we have kind of a mixed up idea of what love feels like, what love is. And, you know, there is in relationships and marriage where people use love as a reward or as control. So there's some very, you know, messed up ways that love gets twisted, right? So what we're doing here is helping to release that even on a collective level. We're doing the work to help the collective release their third dimensional understanding of love in order that we can help to raise that frequency to a higher frequency for everybody to perceive it in that higher vibrational way. Okay? All right. The energy is working, and it's about healing a hole in your heart, specifically for you, Pascaline. And for everybody who's listening, just accept the healing energy for what it is you need to heal your heart and your perception and understanding and receiving of love. It doesn't just mean this love. Gosh, they could go on and on about this issue too. It also means universal energy love, because that's the biggest and most important. When we have that feeding us and filling our heart, it makes everything in your world brighter, no matter what, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, how does your heart feel?
Feels a bit lighter.
A bit lighter. All right. Well, it's going to keep getting lighter. I want you to love yourself as well. The energy will continue to work for everybody. It is always comes down to, of course, ourselves and the lessons that are in our lives are to remind us we still have energetic work to do to heal ourselves. And as we do that, though, look at, we're helping everybody. And that's how energy works. It's pretty awesome. Thanks for being on, Pascaline. Let me know how that feels in even a little bit, because the energy is still going. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, sweetie. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, being part of the Power Up Your Abundance podcast. Have a abundant and love-filled day. Namaste.